I think this word loyalty, especially in business and marketing, is a very, I think, misused word. So what I want to show you is a model for thinking about your business that has to do with consumer behaviors and what loyalty really means. I've been around for a long time. I worked at IBM back in the 90s, and we did a lot of satisfaction surveys. So on our ladder of looking at behaviors for customers, measuring satisfaction is not something is really reliable anymore when it looks at loyalty, right? There's so many choices in the world. If you say, I'm satisfied with something, that's not really saying a lot, because the next thing comes along, you find it online, you move to the next thing. So we as businesses, when we look at customer relationship, satisfaction is not a metric that we really want to use. We want to level up on our ladder of loyalty. So retention, I know a lot of us will look at our customers. Are they buying from us over and over again? That is a better indicator of loyalty, but not the best, right? So I want to ask you, how many people are a member of an airline loyalty program? Raise your hand. Okay, now keep them up. Keep them up now. Keep them up. If you freaking love that airline so much, you tell everyone about it. Keep your hands up. Really? 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 Why? So we are in these so-called loyalty programs, right? But we talk smack about them to people. So it's really a retention. That's a retention program. That's a frequent purchase program. We're kind of locked in because we want the rewards and points, but those are frequent use programs. So I know people throw it around and call it a loyalty program. It is not a loyalty program, right? And so retention says something, it doesn't say everything. This next level, to me, says a lot more. Referrals. So when people talk about a business to friends, family, and colleagues, they're not going to talk about that business unless they're pretty sure that you're going to have a great relationship with that business, right? You would never tell a friend or family, you should go to this restaurant, go to this hotel, go on this cruise, unless you know they're going to have a great experience. But there's even higher levels. There's two more higher levels of loyalty on this loyalty ladder. And the next one's called Evangelism. My first book was called Creating Customer Evangelists. These customer evangelists, they love these businesses. I mean, you might think to yourself, what is a business I love so much, I tell everyone about it, I cannot stop talking about it? That's what I call customer evangelism. We'll see online behaviors where people might have a negative comment about the business. The evangelist will jump in and say, wow, that's not the experience I've had. They actually act like a virtual sales force. They love talking about the business. They tell everyone they know about it. So this is, again, a higher form. When we see that kind of loyalty, it's because they love it, they want to tell everyone about it. So we need to know about those folks and learn how to better engage them. There's one more level of loyalty, I think, is the holy grail when we're looking at customer loyalty, and that's called ownership. Now this is when customers actually feel like they are part of the business. They want to help that business succeed. They want to do anything they can to help it succeed. And one of the stories, just to illustrate what this means, was in our first book, my co-author and I were at the headquarters of Southwest Airlines. And this was in 2002. So if you remember what was going on back then, we had come through 2001 with 9/11, right? So we're sitting at their headquarters. We asked them, tell us about your top customer evangelists. Give us an example. And they were telling us about what happened around 9/11. Now, you guys remember, if you do, back around 9/11, the airlines did not fly for a week, and then the planes afterward were not very full for a while. And so what happened immediately is that the airline industry laid off over 100,000 people. Now, Southwest had never laid off anyone in their entire history. They've been profitable every single year. And what they showed us were letters right after all of these layoffs were happening. These customers were sending Southwest letters, and they were saying, you know what? Please don't lay off my favorite gate agent, my favorite flight attendant, and so here's a check. Here's a returned flight certificate. Please put this towards the employee fund. Please don't lay off our favorite Southwest employees. Okay, remember that airline that you remember their loyalty program? If they weren't doing well, how many people would send them a check? No? And so there's very few examples, but I think that this ownership is what we're all trying to achieve as businesses, where people feel so engaged with us emotionally that they want to support us. And we may never get there, but I think if we strive for it, to me, that is what a customer relationship is like.